Right now, across all of my clients, I'm roughly spending around six figures per month on ads. Okay. So if you are pretty much a health or if you're a fitness coach, I'm going to show you my strategy that I've been implementing with myself and my clients that we've been able to use to scale their acquisition machines with ads, how to write ads, how to make sure they're good, because ads are always changing from literally month to month, the algorithms, what people are looking for, etc. I'm going to give you my new and updated strategy so you can implement this and get some success. Okay, so let's jump into it. So, pretty much what I've found and what's going on right now within the market is pretty much what happened about 4 years ago is something called COVID. Okay, and pretty much around the time of COVID, what happened is thousands of people who were in-person personal training studio owners, in-person PTs working at LA Fitness, gym owners, or people who simply had fitness experience, they rushed into the online space. Okay, they could no longer do things in person. They're like, okay, I have this free time on my hands. I'm going to start an online fitness business. Okay, what this did is this created a mass increase in competition, and everyone was posting online on TikTok, on Instagram. TikTok blew up at that time. Everyone was sending DMs. Everyone was running ads, etc. Okay, and due to the influx of people, especially running ads with pretty basic copy, similar creatives, and low level skill, okay, what happened was nearly the entire market fell short of achieving the results they expected. Okay, so many people, there was so much competition around that time. Before COVID, it was very easy to run an ad and become successful with that ad because due to the low barrier to entry and the low competition. Okay, so now when you go and run an ad, the competition is so high and it's only getting higher 3 years, 4 years after COVID. So the things you have to do now are a lot different. Okay, so all in all, what I'm going to be referring to a lot back in this video is one of my clients named Paul. Right now, when we started together, he was making around 15K a month. Right now, he's doing about 150 MRR. Okay, I'm going to show you pretty much the strategy we went through with him, and building campaigns, all that sort of fun stuff. Okay, so pretty much the first step in creating ads is you have to realize your market. Okay, for example, when you're dating a girl, you have to understand what that girl's about, what that girl likes, how she likes it, where she wants to go to eat dinner. You have to understand her personality to potentially in order to maybe appeal to her, etc. Okay? The same thing applies to ads. Okay? So the first thing we have to do is realize and select your market specifically. Okay? What we have to realize is everyone says, "Oh, business is business to business, it's business to consumer." That's actually incorrect. Business is always people to people, okay? And if you can understand exactly who you're helping extremely well, what they like, how they like it, etc., you can easily extrapolate a message that will resonate with that audience, okay? And that's like 80% of the work done for you, okay? This is actually why people who take a lot of sales calls, people who are constantly interacting with their clients, they know exactly what their client wants. They know exactly what their client wants. They know exactly how they speak. They know exactly how to appeal to them because they're constantly in front of that person. Okay. They understand the market. Okay. So pretty much the first step in this process. Okay. I know you're like, oh, I want to jump into ads. Yes. You have to understand your market and you actually have to understand who you're talking to specifically. Okay. So the first step is understanding exactly who you're speaking to. Okay. So are you talking to teens who are looking to put on muscle? Are you talking to moms with hip problems? Are you talking to dads who want to lose their beer belly? Because these are very different markets and these people both have different desires. They both potentially speak differently. They both resonate with different potential messages. Okay? So it's very important to get specific with this, as appealing to everyone attracts actually nobody. Okay? This is one of the biggest insights that I've gotten with ads. It may seem like when you put out an ad that, hey, anyone who's looking to do this, anyone who's looking to lose weight, you think psychologically that that's going to get more people, but it's actually the opposite. Okay? So you have to get very specific and very clear on the who. Okay? So if you look at this diagram right here, this is kind of an example of what you should be doing. Okay? So the black circle is, let's say, the fitness market. Okay? The fitness market is massive. Okay? It's a multi-billion dollar market. Okay? Let's say that black market is the fitness market. Okay? And then that blue circle, which is a little bit more narrowed down, is, let's say, the weight loss market. Okay? And then within that blue circle, there's the yellow circle, which is, let's say, weight loss for middle-aged people. Okay? And then that red circle is weight loss for middle-aged moms, okay? And then the green circle is weight loss for middle-aged moms who are going through menopause. I'm just kind of pulling this out of my ass, and this is just an example, but you got to very narrow it down and get very specific and clear on that who, okay? And then when you get very specific and clear on that who, okay, when you're creating content and you begin building an acquisition process through ads or content, now what you're doing is, because you're so specific on that who and you're so narrow with that, views actually become not so important, okay? Views actually only become important when you're speaking to the exact target audience, okay? So for example, I've had several videos that I've promoted and I've gotten tons of views, okay? But if we're not speaking directly to a specific audience, views actually become unimportant. So this is the first step in the process. You have to get very clear on, who you're helping, a specific archetype dealing with a problem. These people are wanting a specific transformation, and they're wanting the specific transformation within a specific time frame, okay? You may get less engagement, you may get less views, but you will be speaking directly to the right people who will view you as an educated person in that niche or vertical, and will psychologically cast you as an expert within that niche. Okay, this is just psychology. For example, you go to a doctor, okay? You're talking to a general physician, okay? You're like, okay, this guy knows he's a doctor, he's a general physician, okay? But let's say a heart surgeon who specializes in myocarditis walks in, okay? You're going to be like, oh my God, this guy, if I have a heart issue, this is who I'm going to. This guy's an expert. Okay, so same thing applies to this. Okay, so to give you an example here, number one, let's say you say, oh, I help people lose weight. Okay, let's say you'll be able to charge roughly $1,000 for that. Okay, I help people lose weight. Level 2 is I help moms lose weight. Let's say you'll now be able to charge about $1,500 for this. Okay, next level is level 3. I help moms dealing with menopause lose belly fat. A little bit more specific. Okay, let's say I'll be able to charge $3,000 for this. Okay, and then number 4, I help moms dealing with menopause balance their hormones and lose 20 pounds of belly fat in 3 months. Very specific. Let's say I'll be able to charge $10,000 for this. Okay, because you are specific, and if that specific person finds you, they're not going to be like, oh, I'm expecting like a $50 a month, $100 a month. That is a premium, very specific service. Okay, so think about this. Which one will you be able to charge more with, okay? And which one will view you as more of an expert indirectly because you are specialized within your messaging, okay? Will it be I help people lose weight, or will it be I help moms dealing with menopause balance their hormones? I'm just saying, what is the difference? Being specific or being not specific? You have to be very specific. That is the first step, okay? Cool. So let's now move to number 2, okay? Once you've identified your who, it most likely comes with common problems. Okay, recognizing these common issues within your market is the first crucial step. Okay, every product appeals to multiple mass desires. Your job is to select the most predominant and powerful desire that can be possibly applied to your product. Okay, so every market, every person, if you're targeting moms, if you're targeting dads, if every specific person has several desires. If they want to lose weight, tone up, oh, I want to be healthy, oh, I want to be aesthetic, oh, I want to look good in my clothes, oh, I want my clothes to fit. There's so many desires, but your job is to choose the most pungent, the most powerful of those desires and target that as your main transformation, okay? So ask yourself, what problem or desire is of highest value to your market? And B, does my market really experience this problem or desire? Okay, and these are things that you're not really going to be able to just find out by, oh, I'm just going to go on Google, I'm going to do some research, I'm just going to look around. You have to go talk to your market. You got to go ask them. You got to get on sales calls. You got to call people. Hey, you're a mom. Hey, your mom's friend, or let's say one of your family friends. Hey, I'm starting a business, or I'm looking at this. Can you answer a few questions for 5 to 10 minutes? Okay, you're gathering data, and the more data you have, the better you'll be at selecting this. Okay, so this is one of the most crucial steps during this process. If you misidentify the predominant desire within your market, you can change everything else in your campaign, but you'll still fail to resonate with your audience due to selecting the wrong desire. Okay? So this is all about selecting the proper transformation. So imagine, okay, there's a guy stranded on an island, okay? and you go to that guy on the island, okay, and you say, hey, I'm going to help you. And he's stranded. He's miserable. He hates his life. He's like, oh, I want to get back home to my family, to my wife, to my kids. And you go to that guy on the island and you say, hey, do you want all these free coconuts and free food? I'll give you a bunch of free food. He'll be like, yeah, sure. Like, that's a good desire. Okay. Or you can go to him and say, hey, I'm going to get you back home to your family. Which one of those is more appealing to him? Same market. Okay. They're both, important desires, but which one is stronger? Okay. So you have to determine the predominant desire within your who and go from there. Don't speculate longer than you have to. You're not marrying the desire. Pick the best desire that you can take and take action with it, because you'll never actually know whether a desire works or not unless you get real market data from testing it. Okay, by having conversations, by running your acquisition machine and having conversations, by calling people, by talking to your market. Okay, and this same thing of having a specific desire applies to the same scenario I gave you before about being narrow with your desire. Okay, so like I said about selecting the specific who, you got to do the same thing with the specific desire. How specific can you get within that desire? Because then you'll be able to charge more for that and you'll be viewed more as an expert for that desire. Okay, cool. So once you've determined your who and its suitable predominant desire, it's time to understand your prospect's state of awareness to be able to properly communicate your messaging. Okay, so state of awareness is where they are kind of within the market. Okay, because the market is always changing. The market will never stop changing. And it's our job to pretty much come in at the right time and give the desire to that specific who based on where they psychologically are within the market, if this makes sense. Okay, your prospect state of awareness in relation to a solution will be one of the following. Okay, so for example, if a market, or let's say you're helping people, moms, for example, lose weight. Okay, let's say you come in and you're pretty much giving a new claim where you invent something totally new and the market has never heard the claim before. Okay, so let's say this is like, for example, let's say you're one of the first people to create weight loss back in, let's say, 100 years ago, and you're one of the first weight loss coaches, or even like 20 years ago with social media. Market has never heard the claim before, and you say it, people are automatically going to resonate with it because they haven't heard the claim, of course. Okay, but pretty much the next level within this is the market has heard the claim, and the claim now needs to be magnified. Okay, so pretty much all in all, the market is categorized by being in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stages. Okay, if you're the first person in that market, you just make a claim, throw the desire in there. Hey, you want to lose weight? Boom, you'll get people because it's new. But if there's already people and the market has already heard the claim now needs to be magnified. Okay, so now the claim, hey, I help people lose weight, you got to make that, hey, I help people get a lot of weight off and look amazing. Okay, it needs to be taken to the next level. Okay, the third stage is if the magnified claim is not working, this means the market is saturated and is looking now for a new mechanism, and you're not going to get more success by just magnifying the claim even more. This is a big mistake a lot of people make with Grand Slam offers, for example. They just try and say, hey, instead of helping you lose this much weight, or hey, I'll help you make this much money, they'll say, hey, instead of helping you make, set 100 appointments a month or make $100,000 a month, I want to help you make $1 million a month. It's not going to work. Okay, the market is now looking for a new mechanism to achieve that. Okay, so that's the third stage. The fourth stage is you're magnifying the features within that mechanism. So the market is saturated with the claim and mechanism, and you must magnify the features of that mechanism. Okay, and the last stage is a hammered market. Okay, the market is aware of claims, features, and costs. Only way to sell is through identification. Okay, cool. So identifying specifically who. I'm going to give you more examples so this makes sense later on. Okay, so by understanding their initial understanding position, you'll be able to take an educated approach on framing your solution for the specific situation. And for me personally, the fitness market is extremely, it's a given. The fitness market is extremely competitive. Okay, And what I love about competitive markets, which obviously is the fitness market right now, is that things are constantly changing and changing fast. But the caveat is there will always be a strategy to be used based on where the market currently is. Okay. So, for example, the tobacco market. Okay. It's been around since, Christopher Columbus came to the Americas in 1492. Okay. But the tobacco market is pretty much used within this example. Okay. So, for example, when tobacco was kind of like, first around and they were pretty much taking tobacco, rolling it up in cigarettes, okay, and starting to sell cigarettes around the industrial, so around like 1900s, okay, pretty much you could just go and say, hey, tobacco cigarettes X price, okay, you're pretty much one of the first in the markets, okay. Now, in second in the market, this was around 1920, I believe, okay, you're pretty much trying to outbid the competition, okay, so you're magnifying the desire. Beautiful tobacco leaves for X lower price. Okay. So instead of just saying, oh, tobacco leaves, beautiful tobacco leaves. I'm just giving you an example here. Okay. Third stage, if your market is at the stage where they've heard all the claims in all their extremes, then mere repetition or exaggeration won't work any longer. What this market needs now is a new device to make these old claims become fresh and believable to them again. In other words, a new mechanism. Okay. So a new mechanism could be like tobacco leaves grown in a lab. Okay, what they did, this was around the 1940s, I believe this happened, was when they pretty much were talking about different growing methods of the tobaccos, if it's treated, if it's hydrated, where it's grown, is the tobacco from America, is the tobacco from South America, a mechanism for the same outcome. Okay, that became really appealing, and a lot of tobacco companies pretty much made a lot of money from that. Okay, and the fourth stage is you're pretty much magnifying the extent of that mechanism. Okay, so tobacco leaves grown in the lab take 20 minutes to smoke. Okay, so for example, if a competitor has just introduced a new mechanism to achieve the same claim as that performed by your product, and that new mechanism announcement is producing sales, then you counter in this way. You simply elaborate or enlarge upon the successful mechanism. You make it easier, you make it quicker, you make it surer, you allow it to solve more problems, overcome old limitations, promise extra benefits. You are beginning a stage of embellishment similar to the second stage of sophistication described above, and the same strategy will be effective here. Okay, so you have to understand right now where you are kind of in the market to then provide a claim or what that claim kind of looks like with your desire and kind of with your market. Okay, so right now, the market we're in right now, we're in the stage that a bold claim won't carry us like it might have previously. Maybe around, before COVID or 10, 15, 20 years ago, a lot of people made a lot of money from just bold claiming it. Okay, but it's not really working anymore. Right now, you have to really focus on also creating a new mechanism and making it desirable. Okay, so when I was talking about desire, you can kind of include that within your mechanism. Okay. So we have to make a new mechanism like no others and make it best of all believable. Okay. So if you look at guys like Carnivore MD, for example, or Liver King, the difference is they have a really different mechanism. Okay. Like Carnivore MD was talking about like, oh, don't eat vegetables. Okay. Liver King was like, oh, I eat raw liver. Okay. Maybe this stuff is a little bit extreme. I'm not saying to do this, but there's a reason psychologically why this resonated with people so much, okay? If you don't have a mechanism, you're probably going to forever be viewed as a commodity, okay? When you pick a mechanism, you automatically go into a niche, and this niche experiences this problem only that your mechanism is solving for, okay? So I hope this kind of all makes sense here, okay? Then the next step is number 4. So communicating this new solution, okay? So in a saturated market where everyone is competing to prove their product is better than the rest, there's no winning by simply joining the argument. You're not just going to jump in and, it's not going to work, okay? Effective campaigns are not created by comparing products. The easiest way to be ignored in 2024 is by pushing product characteristics instead of results, okay? Nobody will ever buy your program for the number of modules you have in your school community or, I do this. I help. I use Trainerize. I use the best Trainerize. I use this program building software, and I check in with you this month. People are not going to be like, oh, you check in with me 2 times a day, and the other guy checks in with me 1 time a day. I'm gonna go with you. No, Okay. The number of people in your community, there's so many factors. They're not going to buy because of these specific little things. Okay. Nobody actually cares about what the product is. They simply care about the perceived outcome that they'll experience by implementing it. Okay. And this is largely emotional. Okay. Logically, yes. Oh, will I get this? But it's largely an emotional decision. Okay. And your product is simply the mechanism or vehicle that takes them to the desired state. All in all, you have to sell the outcome, not the product. Sell a vacation, not the plane ride. Okay. So, hope this all makes sense. So, we're moving quick here. Okay. So how are we going to implement this into every aspect of your campaign? We went through quite a bit. Okay, now we're going to take it all and we're going to implement it into our campaign. Okay, so firstly, at the copy level, our goal is to create the simplest, most straightforward message possible. Okay, in every piece of copy, there should include, number one, a market call out. So you get people to understand who the ad is for. Okay, very simple. Who are you talking to? Make that clear. Okay. And then you then bring up a desire. Okay. So get people to understand what the ad is for. Okay. What are you calling out for that who? Okay. Next, pain points. Okay. So you're going to remove pain or turn the knife even more on potentially current pains. Okay. So you're going to say, hey, this is your desire. Okay. And this is your current situation. Okay. This is what you're doing right now. This is why it's not working. Okay. Then you're going to communicate your new solution and mechanism and make it clear on how you can take them from their current, which is the painful, the pain points, and then translate that into something new with your new mechanism. Okay, you're going to give them hope, emotional hope. It's not your fault that you've been misled. It's not your fault that you can't lose weight because you've been doing things wrong. This is why you should do this. Okay, and then you can make a clear CTA. Okay, there should be no confusion on what the next step is and what they'll get by doing it. You can lose 20% conversions by just not doing the proper CTA. So you have to make sure that you are super clear, and the next step for people should be extremely concise, extremely easy, a very, very low barrier for them to take the next step. Okay, all in all, this is pretty much the process that we use with copy. So you take all of these factors that we've kind of went through above and we kind of throw them in here. Okay. What you have to remember though is you should try to not make it salad toss copy. Okay. So this is some of the stuff that me and my copywriters talk about. But a lot of the times when you're creating copy, you think that, oh, if I just keep putting more and more and more stuff in, that it's going to be more valuable all of a sudden. Kind of like when you go to a grocery store, you put things in the bag. Oh, the bag's going to be more valuable the more things I put into it. It's actually not true, okay? Because then it becomes too complex and people start to unvalue it because it's so complex and they can't really understand it, okay? So focus on one offer, one goal, one desire, and not multiple, okay? And also leave only what's necessary, okay? Recheck every piece of copy and cut out every sentence which has no use before launching, okay? Sometimes we'll throw in things that are just too complex, things that appeal to us. We think, oh, if I like it, they're going to like it. Not true. Okay, cool. And by understanding their state of awareness, as previously mentioned, you're also able to formulate the angle of the copy you use and how to position the solution. Okay, and the only way you're going to do this, like I said before, is by collecting real market data. Okay, so it's kind of it's kind of like, maybe an oxymoron in a sense, but you pretty much for this, you can't really do this. You have to start in a sense, collect data, and then iterate. Okay, you're never going to be 100% off the jump, and you're never just going to know everything. So you kind of have to start with this with a base level of understanding or kind of the data you already have, or try to go collect data before running this and potentially spending money. Or if you're already making a little bit of money with this, you probably have a decent amount of data that you can then kind of translate to this. Okay. And then now looking kind of at the creative level, how kind of we formulated some of the ads is pretty much what we do is strictly image ads. So for us, everyone says, oh, video ads are performing way better. Video ads are always, doing way better on impressions, way better on conversions. What I've actually seen is the opposite, especially with Facebook and Instagram. Okay. Image ads are crushing right now. Okay. You get cheaper impressions. it's just a lot easier. Okay. It's easier for you even to make it. Okay. So at the creative level for image ads, simply by looking at the image, you should have a solid idea about what the ad is about. Okay. Image creatives are all about creating an intriguing photo that gives the prospects a clear idea of the desired outcome they can receive by going through the process at a glance. So image creatives are all about demonstrating clear one glance offers, okay, a desired outcome and state, or potentially a process to that outcome and state, okay, results or a potential happy client as well, okay. So these are things that you can test as well. What I've personally seen to personally do the best is a status figure, okay, who is experiencing the dream outcome with an ideal client, okay, in an environment that is inducive to what the desired outcome / transformation is. These three things, if you can nail them in a creative, I've found have done the best, okay? So for example, this ad on the left, this one, it's not even an ad, the image we used for the ad, excluding the copy, this did the best, okay? Status figure, okay, my client, he's in great shape, they're in the gym, and then this is the target client right here. She's also in amazing shape as well, okay? People from this, oh, I want to look like her. I want to look like her. Boom, okay? We got them, okay? So image creatives are probably about like, for this, the actual image you use and the headline you use probably account for about 80% of the actual results that you're going to get from the ads. So you have to make sure that you're testing a lot with this, and you're spending time and effort to make sure that these are the best as humanly possible. Okay. So, and don't think that for image ads, they have to be like super high quality, super great lighting, production quality. These photos were taken on an iPhone. Okay. I've seen some image ads that pretty much are clear one glance offers. Okay. They still have the desired outcome or results of happy clients, etc. Even one of these crush, and they're just like really bad quality image ads. I'm even running some note ads where they're screenshots of like a note, like a note. If you go to notes on your iPhone, you type up some shit on and you screenshot it and you put it on the ad. I've seen those just crush. Okay. And it's still pretty much going through and checking off all of these specific boxes right here. Okay, cool. So that's creatives. The next step is headlining. Okay, so the goal is a quick, clear understanding of offer. Okay, the goal of your headline is to demonstrate your offer clearly and immediately. Okay, once you've written your headline, you've already spent the first dollar of your cost per lead. Okay, it is the first impression people have on your ad. So your headline and your creative. Okay, and is a determining factor between ad success or failure. Okay, so headlining and creative, think about it, someone scrolling, they're going to see first thing, the first line, which is the headline, and then the creative. That's it. Okay, and then they can choose, okay, is this intriguing enough? I'm going to read a little bit more. Okay, this is why it's super, super hyper important to make sure your headline has enough. Again, a clear offer, it's short and understandable, and revolves around one predominant desire. For example, 90-day weight loss challenge. Super simple, very non-complex, but it pretty much checks off all these boxes. I have a bank right now. I have 1,000 headlines that I've tested, and I'm like comparing, because I pretty much, for me, I compare them across all of my clients. And when I have a new client, I just say, hey, okay, headline, boom, take it, done. I know it works already. Okay. Then 2 months later, the market's changing. Okay, I have more data from other clients. We recycle it. Okay, cool. So that's for headlining. Okay. And overall, after implementing this protocol and getting data from it, you have to closely monitor what works and what doesn't. Okay. So as mentioned before, without getting real market data, you'll really never know if something works or not. Okay. Once you get this data, it's crucial that you never waste it, okay? As failing to adapt accordingly to where the market data is directing you will result in a dead campaign quicker than you think, okay? So same thing with evolution in nature. You have to make sure that you are constantly adapting and iterating on the data you're receiving, constantly, okay? This is actually why I collect all of the data of my clients, and I specifically I need to collect the data of my clients. Therefore, it results in better client results for my clients when it comes to ads. Okay, cool. So once you get results on what works and what doesn't, cut what doesn't work and duplicate what does. It's very simple. Do more of what's working and less of what doesn't. Okay, and it's pretty much this input-output process where you're running ads, you're testing ads, you're getting an output on that, and then you're having feedback on that output and saying, okay, this is working, this is not working, let's do more of what's working and less of what doesn't. Okay? Whoever can observe the data better, orient their approach, and implement the fastest new strategy will have an advantage over everyone else. Okay? So observe, orient, decide, and act. You have to be quick with this iteration process. Okay? So pretty much like I was talking about Paul, this is Paul right here. Okay? He's like, great guy, love him. Pretty much with Paul, starting out with Paul, he had an original state. Okay, so pretty much for Paul, he was making around 15-20K a month. We kind of came in, ramped up the ads, and we're booking a ton of meetings. He's making a ton of money. He's also very well positioned in terms of his market. We spent a lot of time with that and his offer. Great salesman as well. So a lot of other boxes are checked off. I'm not going to credit this all to ads because that would be super dumb to just say, oh, we just got him to 150K a month because of just ads. That's not true at all. He's a great salesman. Has a great environment. Great personality. He knows how to sell. He's in a great market. He's a great offer, great fulfillment. Okay, great client results. So many other things check off as well to allow this to accelerate. Okay, so we ended up changing his offer in a new segment and started running ad campaigns for it, which by using this exact protocol got pretty much immediate results because he had those other boxes checked off. Okay, and pretty much right now, like these are some screenshots of some of the campaigns. Like, I think this was over a year or like 6 months, but like several hundred leads for very cheap. And pretty much once we implemented also our setter and our sales team for this, it's just like constant meetings that are being booked for him, etc. Okay, so very shortly after launching our campaigns, high quality leads started pouring in who were practically begging to pay for a $6,000 coaching package. Okay, within 5 months of implementing ads with Paul, we ended up adding over 150K MRR and 150K LTV to his local gym. Okay, he also has an online business for fitness coaching that brings in a percentage of that as well. Okay, so that's pretty much with Paul. I also have, if you go to my YouTube, it's pinned in my YouTube. He's got a little bit of a video kind of explaining what we do as well if you want to check that out. Super interesting stuff. Okay, cool. So if you've gotten this far into the video and you've understood the concepts we've covered and you're wanting to see similar results to what we got with Paul, okay, so I'm going to let you know here, okay, for pretty much this process, like I said, I collect all of this data myself, okay, it's all stored within our backend, okay, you have pretty much two choices, okay, you can run your ads yourself, which you're probably going to get good results with, and I would urge you to try yourself, okay, or if you want to save time, I can give you the data, show you how to do everything yourself, and implement all of this hundreds of thousands of dollars a month that we're spending on ads across several different clients, show you what's working right now, give you the tools to do that, and then potentially save you a bunch of time. Okay, so if you go and book a call with me, I think my link is I think it's somewhere on my YouTube. Go find it. You can book a call. I'll jump on a call with you, see if you're a good fit, and then take it from there. So yeah, I hope you got pretty much some value from this. Nonetheless, I urge you to try this yourself because then you'll value kind of the amount of work that goes into this process as a whole, rather than just being like, right? So I urge you to try this yourself. I urge you to try to get some results. And then I urge you to let me know in the comments or whatever if this got you some value or if you got some results from just implementing this value alone. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.